Before I start, I'd like to say how amazing my wife looks. Yeah! Clearly I'm punching above my weight there. I'm very glad to see all my dearest friends and family all in one room. Very honoured to be accepted into Jessica's family. I'd like to start off with a few thank yous to some people. I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Todd. I should have to stop calling you that now, I suppose. Mother Todd, whatever you like.
Don't call them.
You've been very welcoming to me. You've invited me around every Sunday for dinner. You've managed to grasp my sense of humour. If not, you've been polite enough to laugh.
That's close.
You've seen me far too drunk than I care to remember. I can't really remember. And that you still let me in your house. You hosted Christmas this year, and I'm sure it'll bring our families as one. Very nice. Mother, you're the second most beautiful woman here tonight. Mum, you've given me all the guidance in my life. You're truly an amazing woman. If there's anyone who I want to be proud of me, that's I want it to be you. If there's, I'm sure 99% of the time I've been a delight. But 1% I've been a bit of an idiot. You've always pointed me in the right direction. You've taught me how to treat women. You're an incredible person. You've put so much time and love into Lewis's life. Having the outside hard image that I uphold. I find it difficult to express my feelings, but make no mistake, I do love you, and you're the best mum a little soldier could have. You've both been very supportive in every decision I've made. Dad, you've taught me how to be a man, be respectful to all. I know how hard it is firsthand to be a weekend dad, but at no point in our relationship did I feel like you were Auntie Frances, you've been a model auntie. You're very generous. You've helped me start in my own life, possibly being the coolest auntie in the world, as you did have a swimming pool. Andrea, you're on there. You're not just here because you're married to my best friend, but you two have been one of my best friends for the last 9 years. You've helped me through some very bad points in my life and pointed me in the right direction. I'll never forget it. And thank you for telling Kevin what to do. Kevin!
Careful, mate.
Thanks for doing everything that Andrea told you to do. We live about 200 metres from each other, and honestly, if I ever moved, it'd just have to be closer, because I couldn't do without him. I trust him with my life. We understand each other perfectly. We've had amazing times together. You're a brilliant man. Robert. You're a friend that everyone in the world should have. You're the happiest, easiest going guy I know. I know I can call you day or night, and no matter what, you would drop everything and come to help me. You're a brilliant bloke. Dan, one of the biggest thank yous is to you. If you hadn't have broken my shoulder at V, this day probably wouldn't be happening. Jess nursed me through it, and I think it was there we got to love each other and know we're going to be together forever. You've also got Aston Martin. Sam, my sister. What a great success you've made of yourself. Great career, great husband, and a great life. It just sums you up to all being great. You're fun to be around and organised when you need to be. V Festival has turned into a full-scale military operation. The thing I look forward to most about V is just spending the weekend with you. It doesn't matter if we don't so much as text each other for a month. As soon as we see each other, we are like siblings from the Brady Bunch. I've got not a bad memory about you, and I don't think I ever will. Alright, that's all that. Jess and I met in the midst of the smoking zones in Dick Devens. It was a Tuesday. I held nothing back in my lines, starting out with, have you got a light? It took all of my charm and charisma to obtain Jessica's telephone number. When the modern world of texting, I was able to secure a first date in this very pub. I have been told that even though she said she would come, she was going to stand me up on the first day. And it was down to Mr. Todd convincing her that it would be rude that she came. You probably didn't know it'd go this far. The date went amazingly, and it was encouraged by several bottles of wine.
7 bottles.
We stayed until close and wanted to carry on talking to each other. We decided to go back to mine, and Jessica popped to the bar. This gave me a chance to have a quick phone call to Pad, my housemate at the time. And the front room was tidy, the candles were lit, the fireplace was on, and as I walked in, on the stereo comes Smooth Operator. Jessica is not a difficult person to love. She lights up any room she enters and can speak with anyone about anything. It took me too long to realise, but as soon as my mind caught up, I was at Mr. Todd's house asking permission to marry his daughter. It was a nervous moment for me. Jess and her mother were in London getting their hair done, so I took my opportunity, bought a bottle of red and went round there. I had a million things to say to Mr. Todd, to sell myself, to make it clear to him that I was going to make his daughter happy forever. I forgot all that. Within 30 seconds, I asked if I could marry Jess. And of course he bit my hand off. We had the wine. We had the wine I brought round, which is probably the worst wine I've ever drunk. Thanks to Kev. Thanks Kev for helping me choose that. I even had to ditch my glass down the sink when we popped out of the room. Mr. Todd was very kind. He went back for a second glass. It was all right. Before I left, I asked if he can keep this a secret for obvious reasons, and I've been reliably told he told Mrs. Todd within the hour. 2 days after asking Mr. Todd, Jess had a terrible accident on the M25. I was on duty at the time, and I honestly believed that I was on my way to see Jess for the last time. I had a call from her mum saying there's a horrendous accident, and Andrew looked it up on the cab, and honestly it was terrible. When I got there, Jess was just being placed in an ambulance with a possible punctured lung. I went straight in for a kiss and a cuddle, which the ambulance wasn't aware of the police done that sort of service. I'm all giving. Everything at the hospital went well, and I think it was there that Mr. and Mrs. Todd realised how much I was in love with Jess. I had the proposal all planned. I managed to get a hold of the first edition signed copy of Jessica's favourite book, The Wedding, which is why I have the favours today, which I intended to give to her at the top of a mountain on a planned skiing trip. Because of the accident, we was unable to go skiing, so we put the trip on hold, and we decided to have a week in London doing tourist things, anything but offered by lastminute.com. Little plug. I had to think of a plan B for the proposal. I told Jessica on our first day of our pretend holiday, we're going to go into South End town and pretend it's an airport lounge and buy each other a holiday book. 2 days prior to this, I had to make up some excuse to go around to my dad's to use his tools, as I wanted to put the ring inside the book. I couldn't do it at home because Jess was of course off sick and on my back all the time. I told Jessica I was giving my bike a run because obviously she wanted to come with me, and I knew she wouldn't want to go on the bike after her accident. I was given permission to go with my dad's on the condition that I was to get Jessica to her doctor's appointment in time. My artwork took a little longer than I expected, and I was hounded by phone calls from Jess saying we're going to be late. I sped home as fast as the speed limit would allow, risking my own life to get Jess to the doctors. I was not greeted with a smile and a kiss, but received an enormous bollocking for being late. Jess continued to have a go at me all the way to the doctors, which by this time I'd been told the appointment was for Jess's bikini night. If I'd known, I would have been on time. I've never wanted to say, if only you knew so much about it. Waiting in the car park for an hour and a half gave me time to reconsider. It come good in the end. Come the time for us to go to South End Town Departure Lounge, Jess and I were in Waterstones choosing each other a book. They wouldn't just give me a bag, so I had to buy Jess another book. I told Jessica we're coming here to give each other our books while we had a drink. Jess gave me mine, and then I gave Jessica hers. She was surprised to see that I had found a copy of her favourite book in the first edition, signed by the author in South End Waterstones. But it all became clear when she opened it. I clearly got a yes, and the Muse was booked as our wedding venue within 2 weeks. Before I hand you over to my best man, I can't put it off. Who's got 65?
Yeah, maybe obviously.
I'm truly overwhelmed to be a part of Jessica's life. I've never met someone like her before. She can lift the whole atmosphere of a room just by walking into it. I'd like to propose a toast to Jessica, to absent family, and finish with a quote from Jessica's favourite book, The Wedding.
Oh.
Love. I have. Love, I've come to understand, is more than just 3 words mumbled before bedtime. Love is sustained by action, a pattern of devotion, and the things we do for each other every day.
Oh. Do you want to raise glass in the air?
Thank you.
So we hold it high. Hold it high. Cheers. Lewis, was Daddy funny?
Before I hand you over to Kevin, I'm just going to hand out a few gifts if I can.
Oh,
Just to ruin the minutes, just to ruin it.
Wait a minute.
Timbo,
All
speak up.
counts a minute, all counts a minute. No, it all counts. We can't speak.
It counts, it counts.
I know, we need to hurry up. Yeah.
Kevin, you're on. To you. Robert.
Run!
Well, Bobby will stay. You're handing out everyone else as well.
Oh, hurry up!
You should have gone over my time, I'm going to everyone else.
Hatters, Kate, Joe.
We're all one. Thanks, guys. You've been really great.
That was definitely a thank you.
Flowers.
Kev, grab the flowers.
Joe's a small one, yeah.
A little gift for the mums as well. Just for being mum.
Oh.
The name's on it, was it?
No,
No, they're all the same,
Here we go.
sweetheart.
Pass it down.
Lewis, we need to kind of jump off the chair, bud. That's it. So Kevin, we need to move.